I want to get like a subscription model of Plan B, actually, because I am just dropping so much money on that shit. It's like, it's getting absurd.
A lot of guys, we're taught to think that if you want to get a hot girl, you want to get a date with a woman that you see, you got to be smooth as James Bond. You got to be good looking, you got to be tall, you got to be smooth, you got to have all these qualities or you're going to fail. You're going to get laughed at, you're going to get humiliated. But in this video, I'm going to show you that a normal looking guy with a very normal approach can have success. And that means you watching, if you're not, Notre Dame or some shit, right? If you're not some extreme case, you'd be surprised at the success you can have if you really put yourself out there. So with that said, let's look at the clip.
You want to help me find memory cards?
I have no idea where
You don't.
Okay, so one thing he does well is she keeps walking, but he just stops and he's not pushy. He's not like, hey, you got to stop. But he gives her the opportunity to stop, right? So he holds his ground. He doesn't kind of half-ass it, but he also isn't pushy. He finds that right middle ground. And so she stops for him. Now he says, you want to help me find some memory cards? You're in a store, so if you're just like, hey, you're hot, it's going to be kind of jarring. It could work, but it's going to be kind of jarring. So he's saying something that makes sense in the context that you're somewhere people don't normally meet. They don't normally talk to strangers in a store like this. So she's a lot more likely to open up. It gets the conversation started. And then we'll see how he transitions it from literally having her help him find things to a real pickup.
You don't have to. I just thought you were pretty, and I was like, I could start up conversation about my memory cards with this girl that's walking by. So that was the thought process there.
And so he came across vulnerable there. That was the thought process. He said it in it was a, I don't know, a cute kind of way. I don't know exactly how to put it, but it was cute the way he said it. It was endearing, but he's also making his intentions clear, right? So that was a great transition. You could say you can tell she's like, oh, really? And it makes sense, right? It makes sense that he would have said that to have an excuse to talk to her. So he did a good job at making the transition to I'm hitting on you very smooth.
What section do you know the best here at Target? Like, which one could you just like lay out for me?
the wine aisle.
Oh,
I know very well.
Okay.
So he's also having fun, right? He's smiling, he's laughing, he's moving his body. He's not stiff, he's not overly serious. Like, so which area could you help guide me through? And he's like, I acknowledge that that's kind of a silly thing to say. So he's showing self-awareness, and he's also having fun, which is really good.
So you're just down in wine a lot,
Yes.
huh?
So yeah, that's what residency
Are you
does to you.
are you a dry red girl?
I like red blends.
Okay, gotcha. You don't.
So here he's already basically seeding the date. So are you a dry red girl? He's asking what kind of wine she likes. So once he finds that out, he now has an excuse to go on a date with her. Basically to say we should split a bottle. And that is that's a smooth transition.
So Pinot Noir.
I mean, I drink really all wine. I don't discriminate.
Okay.
But
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. So you just started residency, huh?
I'm actually finishing.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
So he's actually paying attention to what she says. And this is one of the big differences between a guy who's really nervous. He's never approached a girl. He gets so stiff and so in his head that he doesn't notice that the girl's giving him 1,000 things to talk about. She's giving him plenty of opportunities. This whole conversation has been based off him bouncing off what she's saying. He's coming up with an association based on what she says. Earlier, she said that she was doing a residency, and now he's commenting on that because that's a conversational thread that he can go down, as opposed to being like, I don't know what to say. Where do I go? The conversation is already giving you plenty of things to talk about.
That's a big deal. So you're like, you're basically Meredith Grey in real life? Is that? No.
I'm a pharmacist.
Oh.
But I work in an ER, so.
Nice.
So I don't watch Grey's Anatomy. I assume that must be what it's from. Women love the show, and it's very romancy, right? It's about a lot of people having sex. It's about a lot of people doing crazy things. So it's playful, and it also can lead the conversation in a more flirtatious direction.
Finishing emergency medicine training.
Cool. I go to the pharmacy all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to get like a subscription model of Plan B, actually, because I am just dropping so much money on that shit. It's like, it's getting absurd. So
that line That I would say is pretty bad. um, it's risky and it would either go very well or very badly. Now, it just so happened that this girl, maybe he could tell, but it just so happened that this girl was one where the plan B line, she loves it. She's like, oh, this guy, he sleeps with tons of chicks and doesn't use condoms. That's awesome. That's cool. That's great. Most girls, if you said that, that's going to kind of kill the interaction because it's basically saying, I don't use protection. I'm fucking tons of bitches. I'm a player. I'm going to use you. I'm not. It's saying a lot of things that, yes, it's saying you get laid a lot, which you could say is good, but it's saying in a very crass, not respectful sounding kind of way, in a way that's not relatable, right? It's like, by the way, I get laid a lot. So that line, don't use that line unless you want a high chance of the girl being like, what the fuck, dude? That's gross. But it just so happened that this is one of the 10 or 20% of girls that really love that line.
I need to reevaluate some life
I'm,
choices.
I'm completely kidding. I'm being gross. Yeah. Are you going to Sad Boys later tonight?
I have no idea what that.
Now, if he followed that with, I'm just kidding, right? That was a joke. Then that would be a lot better, right? If he says he's kidding, he's not serious, he's just exaggerating, then he basically got the emotional spike of saying something crazy, but made it more relatable. But he just, he owned it. Yep, I get a lot of plan B. You could be next.
So what kind of music do you listen to?
Pretty much everything but country.
Okay, gotcha. So do you ever listen to any like punk rock stuff, like Blink 182,
Oh,
Fall
that
Out
was like
Boy?
my childhood.
See,
my like grunge middle school years.
exactly,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that was everybody's like grunge middle school years, right? So what they do now is the last Wednesday of every month at Scully's, they have a live band doing cover songs of that. So you go to like this big concert. And
That was great. The question, like, what kind of music do you like, is kind of a generic, a little bit of a boring question, but it's fine. Like, sometimes you need some filler, right? If you ever watched anime like Dragon Ball Z, you got to have some filler episodes because you can't have the planet being destroyed all the time. Sometimes it's got to be a little boring. That's okay. It's okay to have normal, boring conversation. I'm not going to judge him for that because everyone runs out of interesting things to say occasionally and needs to have a fallback. But it's actually really good because then he's using that as an excuse to set up a date. He's saying, all right, so do you like punk rock? Then he's turning that into a specific thing at this bar that he's going to now invite her to. So that was a really smooth transition to going for the date.
then after a little while, they just turn a DJ on, and so then it's mostly just hanging out instead of just like jump into the band, So I go just about every last Wednesday of the month, if I can.
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah, it is. There's mosh pits and stuff.
So what you're saying is if I was working, I would maybe see you in the ER later today.
Yeah. Will you be there to maybe save me?
No, I am done for today,
Okay.
thankfully.
That's good. Nice. I'm done with work for the day as well.
Yeah.
I'm just about to find these memory cards. So
You are actually shopping for memory cards?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So you should be able to tell just from the vibe, just from the subtle things about her body language, touching her hair, the way she's holding herself, that she's attracted to him, that she's interested. She is in a state of receptiveness, is I guess how I'd put it. And you should be able to just tell that. You should be able to just feel that. And whenever you're talking to a girl and you get that sense that it has the same vibe as this interaction, you know that you should be moving things forward. And if you can't tell that the girl is into him, then that means you need to get out there more, do more approaches because you don't have that sixth sense because you have a lack of experience.
I actually am. Yeah. So if you want to like
What even uses memory cards anymore?
DSLR cameras.
Oh,
Yeah,
one of those fancy
so-
people.
I do photography. I do some videography and photography and stuff in my spare time. So
Someday
yeah.
I'll pick up hobbies again. Now that I'm almost done with
So I'm surprised he didn't invite her to the bar. I mean, he should have. She was definitely down and he's kind of moved on to another topic. That was a great opportunity. Maybe he'll come back to it, but it kind of seems like he missed it.
residency, maybe I'll have time to
You know
pick
what?
up hobbies.
You know what hobby you should pick up? Paintball. Have you ever played paintball?
No.
You want
This
to?
is the most obscure thing.
I'm gonna show you something. Here, hold on. I'm gonna pull this up. Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready? Okay, wait.
No, I'm not sure.
You should be scared. No, I'm kidding. All right, wait. So it was after.
He's not saying anything that interesting, but look at how she's reacting. look, you're probably not that funny. A lot of the time, I'm not that funny. And a girl is still acting like I'm hilarious. Well, then I know like 95% sure she wants the D. Like 95. If she finds everything funny, even though I'm saying some kind of dad joke, you're in like Flynn.
Vegas. Hold on. I'm in my video. I just casually dropped in there that I went to Vegas recently, so you can get to know me. Okay, so check this out. So I wear a GoPro on my head sometimes, right?
You're one of those people.
Yeah. Okay, so this is me like running over.
I am not a good shot, so I feel like this would not end well.
Boom. So I just messed that kid up. Wait, hold up. Here we go. Slow motion. Boom. And then here it cuts to this one. All right, so I yell at this random chick, and I'm like, hey, shoot at that house, right? And then I come over here, and I just destroy him. And then his little friend pops out the back right there. I'm really into paintball.
I can see that.
Yeah.
When you wear a GoPro,
Mm-hmm.
when you do.
Yeah. Pop your number in here, and I'll take you paintballing sometime.
Well,
Or maybe we could start off with drinks and get to know each other a bit, and
so
then
here's the issue.
and then if we decide that you could withstand the pain of paintball.
So here's the issue.
Mm-hmm.
I leave Columbus on Sunday.
This coming Sunday?
Yeah.
Where are you going to?
Nebraska.
You're moving to Nebraska on Sunday?
Yes.
Wow.
I know.
That's wild.
Yeah.
What are you doing every night between now and then?
I'm packing tonight.
Okay.
I have residency stuff tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going for the right idea, but I would have said, when are you free between now and then, as opposed to what are you doing every single night? Because that's like a little, aggressive to say it that way.
And then I might have plans with friends on Friday, but I don't know yet.
Okay, I think you should clear a little bit of time out of your schedule tomorrow evening. And we can
I'll see what I can do.
we can just fall in love for a night, and then maybe never see each other again.
Okay.
You know? Come here. Let's hug it out.
Have fun finding your memory cards.
You're beautiful.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna text you.
Okay.
All right. See ya.
Okay, so overall that was good, right? There were that one line about the fucking I'm going through plan B like a motherfucker. That was kind of socially dumb. That was not a smart thing to say. It shows he's very free flowing. He's not filtering himself, which is overall attractive to be unfiltered. He's just saying what comes to his mind. That is part of why the interaction was very smooth overall. But you have to have a little bit of a filter to not say things that girls are going to think, ew, that's gross, right? You don't want to start talking about how much you love Donald Trump because, well, most girls are liberals and they're going to get offended by that and then they won't talk to you. It's shit like that. You don't want to go over the top unfiltered to the point that you seem like a homeless person where you're just saying crazy shit. So that one line I think was pretty bad. It just so happened to be that this was a girl that loved it. She's probably sexually very free or whatever. But other than that, that was a very good interaction. It was not complicated. He didn't do anything that is like super difficult to do, some crazy pickup line kind of. No, it's just fairly normal, other than that one line, and showing intent, being free flowing, being confident, and going for a date. It's not that big of a deal. And that works much better than most guys want to admit it works because they want an excuse not to try. They're like, no, I don't know enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not tall enough. I'm not X enough. If you tried and you complimented the girl, you were positive, you made it clear that your intentions were sexual, but also not like negative. You're not just berating the girl. You can get away with that eventually, but you don't start by berating women. You get to that point later. If you're able to do those things, you can get dates, no problem. Like it's actually a lot easier than 95% of men think. And this video was a great example of a normal guy having a normal interaction and getting success.